Welcome to this Global Master in Management session, dual degree between ESCP and CEIBS. My name is Jeanne Weckler. I'm in charge of marketing at ESCP Business School for the Master in Management, and I will be the moderator today. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we start. The session is split up into presentation and then Q&A. We do have someone who will be answering questions during the presentation. So if a question comes up at any time, feel free to pop it into the Q&A box. There is also a chat function in Zoom, as you may know, which I have disabled only because I want to make sure that all of the questions get into the Q&A so that we don't miss any of them. Okay. And finally, as you probably are all used to by now, we are recording the session and you will be receiving a recording of it afterwards. So let's start with a few introductions, shall we? I will ask the panelists to introduce themselves. And if I look at my screen, if I go in order, I see Professor Yannick Meiller first. Could you please introduce yourself?
Of course. Hello, everyone. So my name is Yannick Meiller. I am professor at ESCP Business School. I am professor of information management and responsible digital transformation. In fact, I hold a PhD in artificial intelligence. And later, I went to management studies. And I am also the associate dean for the master in management and the global master in management at ESCP Business School.
Very good. Thank you so much, Professor Meiller. Professor Ghorbani?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Majid Ghorbani. I'm a professor of strategy and entrepreneurship at China Europe International Business School. We call it for short CEIBS. My background is I worked for the United Nations for many years, and I was very interested in how environment gets impacted as of human activities. And therefore, I started basically doing this, hoping to use innovation and government policy to reduce pollution and have a better impact on society. And therefore, that's my research. And I'm also the director or academic director of Global MIM program at CEIBS.
Very good. Thank you so much, Professor Ghorbani. And last but certainly not least, Ms Muriel Grandjean.
Hi, everyone. I'm Muriel Grandjean. I'm the admission director, and I will handle all the application processes and also the recruitment for our program at ESCP, Bachelor, Master in Management, and Specialized Masters.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay. So just to give a brief overview of the session and how it will work, we will be introducing to you ESCP Business School, so you'll learn a little bit more about us if you haven't learned it already. The same thing for CEIBS, China Europe International Business School. Forgive me for not saying that in full earlier. And then we'll go more into the Global Master in Management itself with its key features, admissions, and the tuition fees. Again, if you have a question at any point in time, please feel free to pop it into the Q&A box. We will be addressing it if we can during the presentation, and if not, we'll be taking your questions live at the end. Okay, I will hand it now over to you, Yannick, please.
Meet ESCP Business School. The ESCP Business School is the first business school in history. We were established in 1819, so more than 2 centuries ago. We've been anticipating the changes in the world and in management in particular from now, more than 200 years. Of course, not all of us were already there at the time. We knew the processes. The specificity of ESCP is its international footprint. We have our own 6 campuses that you can see here in Berlin, in London, in Madrid, in Paris, in Turin, in Warsaw. We will come back on this a bit later, but the international spirit, the multicultural spirit is very, very important to us and to the management we teach. And what is very important also is that when we say that we have a campus in Berlin, London, Madrid, Paris, Turin, Warsaw, we are indeed within the city. It's very important to us to be connected to the city so that our students can take advantage of the cultural life of the city, of the political life of the city, of all the life of the city, of course. Can proceed to the next slide, I guess. If we just have some key figures, because we have tons of things to say, but if we focus on a few, we are a higher education institution, very active in teaching and very active in research. You see here that we have 200 full faculty members which are research active, 800 affiliate and visiting professors. This means that our courses are taught, of course, by academics, by full faculty professors, but also by people who are within the world, who are within the business. And this is very important to always have both these aspects in our teaching. We've been graduating people since 1819, so it's a lot of people. Currently, we have even more now, a bit more than 85,000 alumni working on every continent, on most of the countries, on all possible sectors. If you want a range, can go, for example, from a former French Prime Minister, Mr. Jean-Pierre Raffarin, who is now in his 70s, to Clément Deslangues, who is in his early 30s, I think, who has founded Hugging Face, a big AI platform that some of you may have heard of. And we have currently 10,000 students enrolled in all programs, of course, not only in the Master in Management or in the new Global Master in Management, from 122 different nationalities. So the world, we are present in the world, but the world comes to ESCP, and it's a great pleasure. In the yellowish, the golden box, I would say, you have our motto. We are very interested in cross-cultural business education with a global perspective on management issues and a strong connection with the business world. Cross-cultural business, of course, cross-cultural between countries, between regions, and we'll come back on that, but the global meme that we are founding with CEIBS is typically, particularly on this aspect, but also cross-cultural between different fields of business. So between management and something else, management and law, management and engineering, for instance. And ESCP was one of the first 11 higher education institutions in the world to have a strategic partnership with OpenAI so that we can embrace AI and include it in our teaching as content, but as a tool also. And just briefly, when we talk about management issues, to us, sustainability is key and is very important and is fueling all our courses. History of excellence. We have plenty of accreditations. I guess you know that these accreditations are very important for you because these are third parties which are auditing our programs, and they say whether we are up to the level or not. It's not just us saying we're doing, or we're aiming at having fantastic programs. There are other people objectively saying that we are very good. Here there are some recent, this year Financial Times ranking. The Master in Finance, our Master in Finance is first worldwide. It's the third time in a row, I think, or something like this. The Master in Management is 7th worldwide, but most importantly, it has been continuously for the last 12 years in the top 8 in the world. And the school as a whole is ranked by the Financial Times, the 5th European Business School. So for sure with us, you will have excellence. Job placement. When you study in a master, it's not for continuing studying. You study the master in the vast majority of cases to enter the job market. So the program is designed for this. And in addition to the courses, in addition to the network you have with the alumni, the network you will have with the lecturers coming from the industry, we have specific services to to help you entering the job market, but not only entering the job market, to help you start the career which is yours, the one in which you will find your professional pleasure, if I can say it that way, and well-being. So we have a career services, we have a career center, which will help you work with your resume, with your presentations, with your pitch, with some workshops, but also with one-to-one appointments. Imagine you apply for an internship and you have the interview. You got the interview, congratulations, next Monday. Then you take an appointment and we have a team which will help you maybe on Friday to prepare specifically this interview based on the job posting and your own experience. Next slide. Here there is a sample of the employers of our alumni. You see it covers a lot of sectors. For example, in consulting, we can see McKinsey or Bain. In luxury, here we have Chanel. In tech, we have Google, Telefonica. Of course, there is also the health with Pfizer, Airbus. What you see, there are plenty. All sectors are covered, in fact, from industry to services, luxury to mass retail, online, on-site. Once again, we're very international. We've been here for more than 2 centuries. We're in the top of the world higher education institutions, and the companies know this. And I think this concludes the quick presentation of ESCP, and now I hand it to Professor Ghorbani for presenting our partner, China-Europe International Business School.
Thank you, Yannick. So our school, CEIBS or CEIBS, was established in 1990s, specifically 1994, with the joint effort of the European Union and the Chinese government. As you might know, China was very closed before 1980s, and when the doors opened and business started growing, there was a lack or vacuum in management education. So CEIBS was the very first business school that was established in China to teach the business leaders of China. And during the course of this basically 30-some years, 31 years, we have been educating about 32,000 managers at many different levels who have gone to become the heads of multinational corporations, even a few of the Fortune 500 global companies, and they are in many, many industries around China. We have alumni that basically, if you see them in a gathering, people call them a cult, members of a cult, because they love the school so much and they really, really praise the school, and they constantly come back to our school for different events, for mentorship, for many other things, events that we have. Alumni association for graduation, and they even send their children with passion to our school. Every year we have about 3,000 students at different levels, mostly management and master's level, and recently PhD and DBA as well. We do not have undergraduate education, so therefore our school size is much, much smaller in scope compared to ESCP. So as a result of these 30-some years of work, we have become one of the most well-known schools in China in terms of management education. And that should be the next slide, probably. So as you can see, we have been ranked #1 in Asia for our MBA education. It has been always below number 18, but it changes. At some point, I think we were even number 2 or 3 in the world, but in Asia, we have been always #1. So if you go to any businesses in China, big or small, almost there is no business, no executive that has not heard of us. That's because of why? Because we also educate the best executives. That's why we have been #2 globally for executive education. as recognized by Financial Times. As Professor Meyer was saying, these are the third-party rankings and evaluations. It's not only us saying, because of course we say we are #1 everywhere and in all the programs, but that's according to external rankings and ratings, we are actually on the top for Asia and even in global market. We also have built relationships. In the next slide, you can see that we actually have a lot of different professors, different people from the economic sector, from the financial sectors, from the government sectors are on our board, or our professors or visiting us are constantly and giving us speeches. These are some of the sample of the people who are on our faculty list or were on our faculty list before. And they constantly visit us. We have a lot of very high level global leaders visit in our school. Like only just to tell you the last weekend from Friday to Sunday. On Friday, we had the president, the current president of Iceland visiting us. She gave a fantastic speech. On Saturday, we had a former prime minister of France, actually, visiting us and giving a speech about the global fight against environmental change. And on Sunday, we had the CEO and co-founder of the Wire magazine coming and talking about AI and future of AI in the global market. We basically value this dialogue between industry leaders, between policy makers, between former policymakers, current policymakers, and many other executive level people. Next slide, please. We also hired some of the best professors. Many of our professors every year make it to the top 20%, 10%, 2% of the global scientists. They are highly cited in journals, academic journals around the world. We also develop cases, real cases, particularly cases about China. We have more than 3,000 cases about China. Many of the cases that many schools use through Ivy's database or through Harvard, many of them are actually written by us about current companies right now, what they're doing, how they're doing, how did they do business in China, around the globe, in South Asia, in Africa, in Latin America, in Europe, how they connected, how the strategy comes about. We also have very great kind of like events, like for example, every year our MBAs organize TEDx, which are fantastic. And we almost always, as soon as we announce it, all the tickets for it are sold for a kind of like auditorium of like 800 people. So we have a lot of these things that are open also to all our students and our alumni. And that's why our alumni come back all the time. Next slide, please. We do many of these things in many of our campuses. Our main campus is in Shanghai. That's where they originally started. That's the headquarters. That's where we also have all the programs. But apart from Shanghai in China, we also have a campus in Beijing and one in Shenzhen. All of them are hubs for business, but known for different types of businesses. We also have one campus in Zurich in Switzerland and one in Accra. As you can see on the top of the list, the global MIM program are going to be in Shanghai and Zurich campus. Next slide, please. Similar to ESCP, we are also proud of ourselves for having partnership with a lot of big and very famous corporations, big and small. Here is just a sample list of companies that we work with. These are probably companies that they provide us internship. They might give us projects for our students. They come to visit us, give us executive talks. They allow us to go to company visits to these companies, and many of them also hire from our student body. We have very good connections with them, not only within China, but also sometimes even when we go abroad, we visit them. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know some of these companies that are very old and some of them that are very new. But majority of these are very well known, at least in China. So to just summarize, next slide, yeah, that was good. We will have this global meme program with ESCP that we're very proud of. That we will start in our campus in Shanghai. These are the two pictures of our campus in Shanghai. And we'll end with the next slide, our Zurich campus, which is a campus on Zurich Lake that is very beautiful. And sometimes I feel that it's a little bit distracting to study there because it's just too beautiful. So that is my part, and I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards.
Okay, so now you have a better view of the excellence of CEIBS, the excellence of ESCP, and the specificities of both institutions. And what we did is that we put all this excellence and all these specificities together to create the global mean. So what is it? The global mean is a general management program with 3 specializations. I will enter the details a bit later, but this is it, general management and 3 specializations. It's fast, it's 14 months of study in 4 different countries, China, France, United Kingdom, and Switzerland. With this program, you get 2 degrees. You earn 2 master degrees, and this is very important because in 40 months of studies, you earn 2 master's degrees. Usually, you get 2 masters in 4 to 6 years. It depends how you go for it. And this is possible because of the union, because of the agreement, because of the common design between CEIBS and ESCP. Of course, you join 2 powerful alumni networks, the one of CEIBS and the one of ESCP. And the main idea, the main specificity of the program is to gain insights into the European and Chinese economies through, of course, dedicated business immersion, corporate visits, case studies, collaborative multicultural projects. And I was going to say just through the path. You start in China, you go to France, you go to UK, you go to Switzerland. You have students coming from all over the world. You have both alumni networks, which by construction, by essence, they are themselves very much into China and Europe. If we go into details in the next slide about how it's deployed over time. So you start in Shanghai for the first term with the core courses, classical general management core courses, finance, marketing, HR management, I said marketing already, organization and so on, like quite classical, okay? Then the whole cohort, and this is important, this is always the whole cohort moving together. So you're creating, you're bonding, you're creating a strong group. And probably here you will find friends you will keep for your whole life. So from Shanghai, you come to Paris in January for the second term. And here you have your first specialization. As you will be in the main campus of ESCP, you can choose among our specializations. And we have plenty. At that time, we have 20, well, in English, in French, but at least in English, we have more than 20 or 25 specializations covering about all sectors. You have about economics, you have about digital transformation, you have about sustainability, you have about marketing of luxury, and so on. You have plenty, and you choose. And this is very important. This is the same cohort. You're staying with your fellow students, but of course, you're not necessarily all of you interested by the exact same things. So here you have a strong choice. And the specialization, this will be a 120-hour package. So you can really deepen into the field or into the topic you have chosen. Then you go from Paris to London. You just have to cross the channel. It's at the end of the Eurostar, the high-speed train. And in London, you will all attend the same specialization, which has been designed specifically for this program. which is how AI creates value across sector. So we cross AI with different sectors, and here already we included some work with industrial partners, with companies, which will be mixed with the academic courses. From London, you go to Zurich, so many trains or plane, you will choose. And in Zurich, you will be in the beautiful campus you've seen. I'm a bit jealous, I love that lake. And here you will study more about finance and geopolitics, international relationships, and so on. Once you've finished all that, you have your internship. And the internship, we wrote worldwide because it's worldwide. You choose where you want to complete this large internship. It can be in one country where you have studies, so China, France, UK, or Switzerland, but it can be any other country, of course. And after this, you have validated everything, you're done, and you graduated from CEIBS and ESCP with the global min. So, for whom is this? Of course, it's a master. So as a master, you need to have a bachelor. A bachelor in any discipline. This is one of the specificities of our program. Even if you have not studied business before, you can apply for the min. And don't worry, in the summer, just before you start the global min courses in Shanghai, we will organize courses for you to catch up. And it depends on the profile of every student. Some students have already studied finance, but have never studied marketing. Okay, then these ones will attend a specific marketing course. And depending on the profile, we add the courses you need to be at the level to enjoy and to take advantage of the courses you will have in Shanghai end of August, beginning of September. Of course, students with an excellent academic record, well, I guess by now you have understood that excellence is very important to us. So we expect our students to be excellent, of course. Student interested in entering the job market quickly, because 14 months of study, an internship, and zoom, 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 you're there. It's designed for this. So you design for this. And that's why it's written at the end. We also require 3 months previous work experience, because we can take advantage of this experience in the design of our courses, and so that we enter quickly the job market. And this is for future global leaders. I mean, more global than the global min of CEIBS and ESCP, you can't find it. With a strategic understanding of the European and Chinese markets. Because of the design, or thanks to the design, thanks to the parents of the program, ESCP Business School and CEIBS. I think I've said it all. So I hand it to Muriel, who in charge of accepting you or not.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll go through the very administrative part. So as you've understood, we are looking for excellent candidates, but also we have some very administrative documents that we need. Very typical personal curriculum, a personal statement. Of course, we will need all your university transcript, the diploma or certificate of enrollment, and also 2 tests. One is English, so TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, or Cambridge English Advanced. We do have a minimum score required. It's only because all our classes will be in English, so we need to make sure you will have the required level to follow the classes. So you can see them in the gold triangle. This is the minimum required. So this means that if you do not have this minimum score, we cannot look at your application. This is very important for me to say because we get a lot of application with the just slightly under the minimum. We cannot look at your application because we have to make sure you will be able to follow the classes. We also need a logical test, so GMAT, GRE, CAT, or TAJMAJ for the one more French backgrounds. The logical test, we do not require minimum level, but this will wait in your profile review. So the higher, the better, to stand out among our candidates. So this is what you need to apply. You will apply online on our website. You will find it easily. And for those of you who will be selected, the best of you, you go through a motivational interview. This will be a specific interview dedicated to those who want this specific program, because we really want to know what brings you to this double degree, what's your motivation exactly for the CEIBS ESCP dual degree. And yes, that's it. After the interview, we will select, again, only the best to be admitted. I'll just continue a little bit with you on fee and financing. So you can see the total price is 61,800 euros for the tuition fees. This will include, well, this is the tuition fees with the services and the alumni association as well. You can see on your right that we offer some scholarships, some merit scholarships, and some need-based scholarships. Also, many of our students do apply for a loan. Usually when you get accepted into such prestigious institutions, such as CEIBS and ESCP, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting a loan with a good interest rate. You can look for other scholarships. There are probably lots of scholarships that we don't know about, but you need to make sure this will cover your tuition fees. But as you know, this is such a great program when you will go abroad. So you also need to think about accommodation, transport, etc. So do think of that so that you can have, well, make the most of your studies, having the best loan that will cover everything. I think that's it for me.
And that is it for our presentation. Thank you very much, panelists, for going through the presentation and explaining everything, all the basics. Of course, we can't go into all the details in a 35-minute presentation, but thank you very much for explaining all the basics about ESCP, about CEIBS, about admissions, about the program. Now what I would like to do is turn to the Q&A. Roger has been working furiously in the background. We thank him very much to answer as many questions as he can. But there are, however, a few left over. So what I will do, I will stop sharing my screen so we can see everybody perhaps in a bigger view. And I will go to some of the questions. The first one that I would like to ask, that would be, you discussed it during the presentation, but perhaps you could talk about it a little bit more, Professor Ghorbani. I think this one could be for you, and that is that the question was, it's a fast track 14-month program, but how is the workload structured to cover all the core and the specialized subjects?
How the workload is structured?
Yes.
Okay, so as Professor Yannick was saying, the basically the core courses are concentrated in Shanghai campus. So majority of them are done over here. And I guess the entire process, we will have a lot of CDC or the curricular development also built up to this. And then I would envision that the classes are almost like every day, but we will have some time off for the kind of like corporate visits or executive kind of like visits, talks, and everything. And for the most of the specialization, each organized in Shanghai, in Paris, London, and Zurich, I think the time is also a little bit more wider for more executive and as well as company visits. I'm guessing that's the question or the answer they were looking for, as opposed to exactly how many hours of work for each class or course they need to spend.
Yes, thank you very much. And if in case you wanted some additional information to that, please feel free to once again keep asking questions in the Q&A box. And the next question I will ask of Professor Meiller, and that would be that you talked about the alumni network in particular at ESCP as well as at CEIBS. How is the network, the alumni network, supporting the students during the program itself?
Very important question. In fact, well, first you have to know that when you start the program, you enter that network. So this network can start supporting your efforts as soon as you are starting the courses, in our case, in Shanghai. The alumni network, it's made of what? It's made of students who have graduated for our institutions. They are all over the world, they're in all sectors, as we've said. They are here for accelerating your integration to a country, to a sector. Imagine you want to start your career in, I don't know, in China, for instance, or in another country in Asia, in Europe, whatever. Let's say in China. Then you can contact alumni who are in China in the sector that you are targeting, and they will give you hints, they will give you advices of the job culture, the working culture in that country or that region of China. It could be differences also between Shanghai, Beijing, and so on, and in this precise sector. Maybe they also have some contact and they can introduce you to some friends of theirs who have companies, who have business there. So they are here to advise you and to support you, to take you along with them in your project. They share their experience, so it's a very useful complement to the school and the courses.
Very good, thank you so much. My next question will be for Muriel Grandjean, and that is to do with the final, the end of term internship comes at the end of the 14 months. And the question is, how do the schools support the students in finding that internship?
Yes, thank you. So the beauty of this program is that it is two prestigious institutions with already career centers. So both institutions will have the resources to I do not want to say help. It is help, but you will still need to find your own internships. But we do have coach, counselors, many events that we are organizing online, on site, so that you can find internships or even the job. And again, the what's great, it is you have both career centers to help you through that.
Very good, thank you so much. Let's see, there's a question about the actual degree that's awarded. Let's start with the French degree. Is it awarded by the French Ministry of Education, or is it an RNCP certification?
No, it's recognized by the French government.
Okay.
It's a real master.
Okay, and what about, is the degree approved by the Ministries of Education in other countries besides France? For Switzerland, for example?
Oh, are you talking about CEIBS, or you're talking about So if you're talking
Well,
about
both, right?
ESCP,
It's a dual
if you're-
degree. So I guess the question, I didn't
Yes.
ask the question correctly, but go ahead and answer
Yeah.
because you.
So as far as I know, ESCP's degree is recognized in many countries, and I can be for sure to say that it's recognized by Ministry of Education of China as well. So the ESCP's degree definitely is recognized here. And the degree issued by our school, by CEIBS, is issued by the canton of Zurich in Switzerland. So it's a Zurich degree. So it's recognized by Zurich and by default by Europe and many other countries as well.
Okay, great, thank you. And it is a master's degree, correct?
A master's degree, yeah.
Perfect. Let's see. Question concerning the Master in Management versus the Global Master in Management at ESCP. And that is for Professor Meiller. Is the program suitable for students already pursuing a Master in Management, or for those who haven't started a master's yet?
Okay, so this is for the global mean. For students who have, oh no, if you're already pursuing a master in management, why? I'm not sure why you would like to have a second master in management. To me, well, with just this information, it makes no sense. But maybe I don't have the full.
The second part of the question sort of helps is, can first year MIM students apply? So I'm assuming the person is already started a Master in Management. So the question would be, can that person now apply for the Global Master in Management? Maybe this is more for Muriel. I don't know. Muriel Grandjean. Yeah.
In fact, there are two levels before Muriel complements. She will say more precisely. But then you have to build your project. Just make sure why do you want to do this? Just be aware that if you start a new master, of course, you will start with the core courses and you will have, I guess, studied similar courses in your master in management. So is this the best way to keep motivated? I don't know. Now, from a more technical viewpoint, Muriel, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I was reading through the questions at the same time. So can you please just repeat this?
Someone who is currently studying in a master in management, so he or she will have the M1. Does it make sense, or is that possible to apply to the global?
Well, from a technical point of view, which is my department, you need to have a diploma. So if you already have a bachelor diploma, that's okay, but you will still be admitted into the M1. So no admissions in M2 anyway, it's a fast track. So, but if you're, and I say this for our French candidates as well, if you have an M1 in an institution that only delivers a master's degree at the end, you will need to apply with your master's degree. So just be very careful with this, and you can contact us if you have any doubts. Now on a more should you apply? I mean, it depends on each individual case, but if this is not a typical master in management, general master in management, it's a global one with a prestigious partner that CEIBS is designed to get you into 4 different countries with 2 different institutions with a very concentrated view on Europe and Asia. So if you already have a MIM and you want to apply to the ESCP MIM, we would be like, okay, we really need motivation from your side. Now, this dual degree is really different. So if you feel this is what you've been wanting to do, if you have strong connection or want to work with Europe and Asia, yeah, this is for you. But I think this is not our answers. It's yours. You have to think about what do you want from this program, and what will it bring to you in addition to what you already have? This is a question you have to ask yourself, actually.
And then make it clear when you apply.
Yes, exactly. So that we can understand why you want to apply to this, because we will ask ourselves this question. If you already have a MIM, a Master in Management, why would you go into another Master in Management? This is something we will look at as well. So you have to think this through with yourself and then make it clear in your application, yes.
That's why the question is not about master, not master. It's really about here, we are answering a bit lengthily because it's Master in Management, so it's close. If you had a master in law, a master in engineering, there would be no doubt for us. Okay, yes, he wants to have hybrid skills, or she wants to have hybrid skills. We love this, and then it makes sense. You know, when you have already studied so much to enter in a program like the Global MIM, which is a fast track to get so much, it makes sense after another master in another topic, in another field, and then there would not even be any question from our side.
Very good, thank you. Let's switch gears a little bit, a bit of a more prosaic question. This for Professor Ghorbani. Can students learn Mandarin during the Master Management, the Global Master Management?
So one thing that's probably been left out a little bit here, not specifically mentioning, was that both in first semester and second semester in Shanghai and in Paris, students must study 2 foreign languages. And for all the students who are not Chinese and visiting China from other countries, one of those languages could be Chinese. We offer Chinese education for anyone who is interested in learning, and we're very, very happy to do that. And there is a possibility, I'm speaking on behalf of Professor Meiller, but that there might be also Mandarin available in Paris as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you can start in Shanghai and continue your deepening of the language in Paris, and the other way around, of course, for students already speaking Chinese, they can learn French, for instance.
And of course, one thing that I have to mention here that I think we left out from our presentation by mistake is that ESCP will recruit 50 students at least, and then we will recruit about 50 students as well. So meaning that the 50 students who are coming from our side are majority Chinese. So you will have a lot of Chinese classmates in your class that you would be happy to basically understand and basically work together and exchange and enhance your language skills.
And this is part of the better understanding of Europe and China, because you have the courses, you have the location of the campus. Shanghai is in China, and it's not any city in China. It's a wow one. But you have also the relationship with your mates, with the other students. That you create network here, you work with them, you realize cultural differences, and this gives you a step ahead in comparison with other people in terms of working between Asia and Europe.
And while you're here, we are going to also organize a bunch of cultural tours for weekends or some other times that you don't have classes, for whoever is interested to participate and go to nearby cities, experience the bullet trains, and compare it later with the Eurostar, the Chinese one, and the French one, the European one, and many other things, businesses and many other things. We have a lot of kind of like opportunities for people to learn about China, about Chinese culture, about Chinese businesses, and many other things.
That actually is a good segue into another question that one of the students is asking. That is, will students be working on joint consulting projects about Chinese companies in particular?
We have some consulting projects for our other programs that are fully in China. Unfortunately, due to the length of the program, that is not going to be possible for the entire group. We were trying to plan this for all the teams to have one project to go through the whole program. But once after the first semester you leave Shanghai, then it might be a little bit difficult to conduct the necessary kind of like analysis or visits or interviews or data collection to do a proper consulting things. But we do encourage many of the students, or as many students as they're willing to do their master thesis on a Chinese company, or a Chinese company that has or planning on building a relationship with Europe, or vice versa, a European company who's coming to China. So that basically allows you guys to learn more or do a little bit more in-depth research on these companies.
Okay, thank you. You just mentioned master's thesis, which we did not mention during the presentation because there was a question whether the global internship counts as a master's thesis, and the answer is no. You have to do both.
Absolutely. You know, this is, as French people would say, you have cheese and dessert. So you have the master thesis and the internship.
This question is for whomever would like to answer it, perhaps Ms. Grandjean, because it's about admissions. And that is it possible to apply at the same time to one of your MSCs and also the global MIM?
Yes, I've seen this question several times. So you can apply to MSCs and global MIM, such as I think you can apply to CEIBS MBA, for example, and global MIM. However, for ESCP, you can only apply to one Master in Management program. So this is only one program. The global MIM is part of it's still a Master in Management. So you cannot apply to ESCP direct admission, classic MIM, and the global CEIBS ESCP MIM, but you can apply to MBA at CEIBS or MSCs at ESCP. Is this clear, Jeanne, for you?
It's clear for me.
And if I may add also is that the other thing is just to mention that even though you can apply, but usually MBA programs require kind of like work experience. Some, like for example, our MBA program requires at least 3 years of work experience, whereas MIM basically requires to not have more than 1 year of work experience. So meaning that if you're qualified for one, very often you're not qualified for the other one. So don't waste your money.
Which is not the case for MSCs because it's still master's program where the difference is we will need people who know exactly what they want to do after that. They don't want a general program, but a very specific program. So that's okay. But keep in mind that you can only apply for ESCP to just either the global MIM or the classic MIM. Anyway, it's not two different applications, it's just one, and you have to choose which path you will follow.
Yeah, perhaps that's worth talking about just a little bit more about applying for the Global Master in Management. If you could just explain that from when they enter the platform, the application platform.
So I guess this will depend on which platform you get to. So I'll answer for ESCP. When you get to our platform, as we also have the classic MIM, you will only find Master in Management. So you will apply through this. You will have to choose if your study are either in France or outside of France. This will, it doesn't matter. You can apply with both. That's not a problem. You will fill out your application normally, and then just before you upload your documents and you pay the fee, you will have to choose which path you want to follow, the classic MIM or the global MIM. You've understood what I've said previously is that you will have a dedicated interview. This is why we need to know who's interested in the global MIM so that we can treat you separately so that you can have dedicated interviews. And also because we communicate with CEIBS to make sure we are aligned on our admissions. And this is also how you cannot apply twice at the Master in Management on 2 paths. So this is how it works for ESCP. I will let CEIBS let you know how it works on their platform and websites.
We have a dedicated application page for MIM. It's mim.ceibs.edu. If anyone is interested, I can share it. But applying, as our colleagues here were explaining, if you're applying to CEIBS, it's the same as applying to ESCP. So, and we share this information. So it is possible that if you apply to both of us at the same time, we might assume the other side is already reviewing the application, and we might drop your application, meaning that both sides might actually accidentally drop your application. So please do not apply at the same time to both institutions. So try to apply in one side only, whichever side you want is the same. There's no difference in any ways. So just take your pick. And our application platform is just one, and it's only for Global MIM. We don't have any other programs other than Global MIM. So Global MIM and MIM, they're equal to us.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Question about we'll come back to the master's thesis, and that is, during what time frame will students be writing that? And perhaps Professor Meiller, you wanted to answer that?
I love master thesis. But they will write it at night? No, I'm kidding. In fact, they will mainly write it while they are in Zurich. What we will do is that we will start making sure that the students have a topic, have a professor, because for the master thesis, each student is supported, is followed by a professor, either from CEIBS, either from ESCP. It depends on the interest of the students and so on. So we make sure that all this gets ready while they are in London, so around May, June, okay? And from then, they can start working, so they will mainly be in Zurich when they will be working and writing their master thesis. They don't need to be in the same campus as the professor because they exchange online, of course, and this can expand a little bit when they start their internship.
Very clear. Thank you very much. We've had a few questions about apprenticeship. Is it possible to do an apprenticeship during the Global Master in Management?
I'm afraid it's not possible because apprenticeship is a purely French measure, at least for the French apprenticeship. The companies get tax waiver and so on for that. So it's for French company and for people working in France. And as you can see, you will be in Paris just for one term, so for 3 months, maybe later for the internships. But apprenticeship, you're supposed to be totally during the whole duration in the company until you graduate. And here, this is not possible. If you want,
and if by
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. And if by apprenticeship, we're also referring to just internship or professional experience in general, some countries, like for example, Switzerland has a law that with a student visa, you cannot work. And, also because the fact that in each country, students are there only for, in Shanghai and in Paris is close to 4 months. And in basically London and Zurich is shorter. The possibility of finding internship during the time of study is very, very small from our perspective anyways.
Okay, thank you. A question about admission. Does already having experience, for example, a semester abroad or an internship in China, help with admission?
I will answer that, and then I'll let my colleague add any more additional elements that might interest you. We are two prestigious institution. We are looking for excellence, and we have a program that is very international. So of course we look at, well, I think Professor Meiller, you've talked about what we expect in a candidate, but other than excellence, we are looking for open-minded candidates, open on the international side. This doesn't mean you have done visited 50 countries, it means like you're open. You will be with international students, you will work with international students. So yes, of course, anything related to being abroad or being in interaction with other culture will be a plus, of course, such as also a strong professional experience will be a plus as well. This is something we're looking for in our candidates.
Okay, thank you. One last question that is a bit tricky. Just a bit. We just want to challenge you a bit at the end because,
Ghorbani.
okay, Professor Ghorbani. What are, because this is a new program, correct? The students are curious as to what our expectations are in terms of career prospects and salary outcome.
Oh, actually, that one probably I should defer it to because it's new to us, and this is our first year to start a MIM program. I think, of course, I would hope that your salary expectation is to start with a very high salary. How much that is, I don't know because we don't have history yet, at least. But ESCP probably has. But better.
Certainly, in terms of career prospects, Professor Meiller, I think there were different expectations that we have for our students, or different. We assume they'll have different outcomes, perhaps, than the classic master management.
Well, precisely a good landmark. I mean, if we want to have a scientific approach, the data we have are about the classical MIM, and the global MIM will reach at least the same targets. Plus, this specificity of having a better knowledge, having a better integrated path, integrated cursus between China and Europe. And Europe is important, 3 different countries, because already in Europe, we show you experience the differences between UK, between France, and between Switzerland. So what these specificities could bring in for salaries and career and so on, well, it will bring a plus to all companies and all organizations who need to work across both regions. And of course, it's a lot. Of course, the economic power of China, the economic power of Europe. And you have plenty of companies from both sides, by the way, who want to do business with the other side, who wants to develop in the other side. And these students will be the best prepared for that. Voila.
That's a perfect ending, I think, to the session. Thank you very much for the conclusion. Unless there's anything additional that any of our panelists would like to add that we may not have covered. The typical end of interview question, right? Is there anything that you would have liked to talk about that you didn't get to address during the interview?
I'm looking forward to meeting the applicant during the motivation interviews.
And if I may add also, for our being innovative in particularly the last 2 semesters of this global MIM program, we are also hoping to equip students with the knowledge and expertise to go to new industries that are created as a result of kind of like AI, blockchain, and many other kind of like new industries that are emerging. And with that, we are hoping to get talented students and educate talent for future management to enhance the relationship between China and Europe.
Yes, I will add on a more very administrative thing again. Do not think you have no chance at all. Believe in yourself. We are looking for excellent candidates, but if you do not try, you will never know if you have what it takes to be admitted. So please do try out. We are very excited to be able to read and see your profiles and start this first new cohort of this wonderful dual degree.
Thank you very much. One last comment from me would be, we do, of course, we are very happy to answer all of your questions. We have admissions and recruitment teams on all of our ESCP campuses and the CEIBS campuses, so feel free to reach out to us. You can find all the contact information on the website. And with that, I wish everyone a very good rest of the day, and thank you once again to our panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you.